Hi all. So now we will going to discuss regarding the SDLC, software development life cycle, which is most important concept in the manual testing. Okay. So in software development life cycle, we are having certain phases. Each and every phase is having its own importance. So basically, we have six phases in software development life cycle, which in that the first one is an requirement phase and analysis phase, design, and coding. After coding, obviously for testing. Coding phase, next testing phase, and the final one is delivery and maintenance phase. Okay, these are the six phases in the software development life cycle we have. In that, we will go one by one. The first one is an requirement phase. Here, the name indicates requirement phase. After this POC by BA, the business analyst. So before POC, the sign off, right? The signing up was done and the POC has done and the PIN has initiated project initiation note. After that, the software development cycle, every tester and developer should know the software development life cycle, which is most important in software field. And here the first one is the requirement phase. The requirement phase is actually it's all about the gathering the requirements. So who will gather the requirements? The business analyst is a business analyst. BA is a responsible for collecting all the requirements properly on a particular template document. Particular requirement template document. It's a different templates in different companies. Almost all the goal is to gathering the requirement, but the structure of the requirement gathering template might be different from company to company. Okay, the BA will take the responsibility to gathering the requirements. Once all the requirements will collect from the client, again the company will go for the sign off for the requirements. So because the client might be change some requirements further, so again it will burden to the company and it includes some cost to the company. So for that, the company will take each and everything on the basis of sign off. So for example, some ABC software company is there, that company will take sign off on the requirement template document once gather the initial requirements from the client. So after signing off the initial requirements from the client on the requirement template document, the document we call it as SRS. What is an SRS? It's an software requirement specification, or we call it as BRS, business requirement specification. It's a business requirement specification. or sometimes the people will call in some companies FRS. Functional requirement specification, or BDD, we call it as business design document, or we can call it as BD. Business document. So you can call with any name, but it's a difference between organization and organization. Some people call SRS, some people, some organizations call BRS, BDD, like that. So the BA took some initial requirements and he will do some POC. POC, what is a POC? It's an again new terminology here. POC. POC is called proof of concept. Proof of concept. What is proof of concept? So here, the proof of concept is an prototype. What is prototype again? Prototype is an rough and rapidly developed sample application. So the BA, after collecting the requirements, based on that requirements, he will go for understanding. Once he will get the better understanding, he will design one prototype. It's an pre-model. Before implementing the actual model, he will design one model. He will design model in the sense he will design some rough application. That is called a prototype. That prototype, after designing that rough or as a sample one, that prototype will submit to the client. So why he will going to submit to the client? It describes how the application is going through and what is the purpose, main purpose of this prototype. The BA will check by designing the prototype. BA will check whether he has collected the all requirements properly or not. That is the important one. That is an proof of concept. Okay, and proof of concept, the main important thing we need to remember, prototype. Next, here, what is the role of what is who will involve in the requirement phase? Roles involved. First, we discussed about BA. Second one, project manager. What is the use of project manager here? So he's the responsible person. Is responsible person to connect with the BA and engagement manager in this phase to baseline the requirements. So the role of the manager is to baseline the requirement. He will communicate and he will understand the requirements. He will gather what are the things he need to start what. That is the important one. The project manager will play that role. Next, who will involve again? Engagement manager. What's the role of engagement manager in this phase? He is responsible to maintain the relation between the client and the company. Who will maintain the relationship? Engagement manager. Company will appoint one engagement manager to maintain the rapport between the client and the company. So there is a possibility and there is a requirement to gather extra requirements and from the client to enhance the business or enhance the smooth communication towards project development. That is the responsibility of the engagement manager. So this is a concept of requirement phase, and we are having the next phase is an analysis phase. Analysis phase. Here, the people involved. So we will take first roles involved. Involved. Okay. The BA obviously project manager and high level management and middle level management. High level management and middle level management. So once the SRS document is baseline, it will take all the people, roles involved, the people who are BA, PM, high level management and middle level management, these people will involve to perform certain activities for the some estimations, some allocations, some selections. Okay, so here based on the SRS document, the people will decide, the business analyst and the project manager, high level management and middle level management will perform the feasibility study. Feasibility study and technology selection and resource plan, hardware and software plan. Okay, we will go one by one. What is a feasibility study? So based on the SRS, what are the possibilities in project? What are the things we can implement? What are not able to implement? Those are the things the people will going to discuss, and they will estimate or they will check the possibility of the project implementation. So these people, they will take each and every requirement and check whether it is possible to develop or not. If it is feasible, how many days it will take to develop? Okay, how many, not only develop, how many days it will take it to develop, testing and delivery to the client. These are the things they will estimate and they will maintain in a test plan or a project plan. Sorry, not in test plan, they will maintain in the project plan. Okay, so here the business analyst and project manager is maintain major role for the feasibility study. So where they will maintain all the details in their project plan. In project plan, we are having this SDLC kind of template. Under that, this requirement phase, they will maintain the requirement details, and analysis phase, they will maintain under this section, they will maintain all these details. So the next one, technology selection. We know technology, which includes which technology they need to take to develop that particular product. So like for example, one web application or desktop application or some kind of the embedded application kind of things, they need to select the technology like Java, Struts, Selenium, MySQL, or else .NET or Android. It depends on the kind requirement and also depends on the feasibility. Okay. So what are the softwares required? Like developing as well as the testing for that particular product, and resource plan. Here resource in the sense, so how many developers are required, test engineers are required, database engineers are required. So these kind of the resources estimation is comes under the resource plan. Coming to the hardware and software plan, what they will do here, they will think hardware and software in the sense. So technology selection, they will select the software. Apart that, in hardware and software plan, they will need any other third party softwares which are related to the hardware. For example, the project is having the requirement to printer to develop some component for the printer. They need some a printer software to communicate our system to printing. So to give the printing is and maintain that develop that software up to the print template, only the part of the software engineers. Again, the hardware communication software must be provided by the printer people. So such kind of estimations they will take here. List of desktops required, laptop requires, and mobiles, printers, all those kind of estimations they will estimate and they will mention in this section. So all total these uh, things, feasibility study, technology selection, resource plan, hardware and software selection, all are the estimated and maintained in the project plan document. Okay. So this is a second one. Third one is an design phase. Design phase. The name indicates designing in the sense it's an initial stage. Initial stage in the sense the software will start the development as per the requirement. Initially, the POC has done by the BA, and after that, all these analysis is done. Based on the analysis, based on the POC, they will start the developing the software as per the requirement of the client. Designing phase will take only the designing part. Okay, so the architect will divide the requirements to multiple modules. So first thing is the architect will divide the requirements to multiple modules and submodules if required, with the help of some designing tool like UML, Unified Modeling Language, or there are many tools available to designing the particular product or software. Is there any other kind of applications? So we can design. In design phase we can use a famous tool is a famous language is an Unified Modeling Language. Based on this, by using this language, they will design the things. What are the things required before going to implement actual functionality? So here, the architect will provide the project flow. How flow will go? So this flow will represent in a diagram. The diagram is called architectural diagram. He will give an architectural diagram. So all and then now what the design phase and the about details what we discussed, the people will going to document it in a document called design document or SRS document. Now coming to the here the people who involved, architect, chief architect, architect or chief architect, and BA also involved, and project manager also involved. So next one, after designing, the people will implement the actual functionality with the help of coding phase. With the help of coding that will represent in the coding phase. Here, the major role will is on the shoulders of developers. The developers will develop the source code in their local machines. So directly they won't give the code to client. Initially, they will design the source code in their local machines related to that particular project. Once it is stable, then only they will check whether it is working or not from their end, and directly the developers won't give the code to the client. So always developers will develop the source code in their local machines. Once it is stable, they will check in into the particular repository in the sense to storing the code to available across all the developers. Okay, we will discuss what is repository now. Okay. The development lead. So for the team, we are having one development lead. He will check out the code from the central repository to the to his computer or his local machine. Then he will build the code. The build will release to the testing team, not directly to the client. So once the team lead or development lead will take code from all the resources on the all the developers, he will build, he will create one build, and once the build will create, that will give to the testing team to test whether they developed, they coded properly or not. So in coding phase, total development is involved, functionality development is involved. So in design phase, they designed the flows, how the flow will going to happen. Actually, the actual implementation will be done in the coding phase. So here we need to concentrate on CR, central repository. Central repository. So repository means it's a storage. Some people call it as it's a storage folder which contains all the source files of the developers, and also it is commonly accessible by all the resources in the organization. The developers, one developer develops some code and he will commit that code into repository. Again, some other developer, some other developer will take that code, and he will add some code, and he will commit his code into the repository again. So after committing the code, another developer will going to take that code, another sorry guys, and another developer will take that code and he will commit. Like that, the team will going to interact his code directly. They want to send the code one person to another person. So they will commit their code into the central repository. Before starting their work, they will take that code and again add their code, total code, again they will commit into the repository at the end of the day. This is happening in the central repository. The main purpose of central repositories, it is a storage folder of their total code, and also it is commonly accessible for all the development resources in the organization. So we are having some central repositories like VSS. It's an visual source safe, and SVL. subversion and CVS. It's an concurrent, concurrent version system, and TFS. It's a team foundation server. And we are having Git and Workforce, etc. So we are having several central repositories based on the requirement of the client, or based on the company's requirement or company priority. The people will going to use the particular central repository to store their code. So here, if we want to commit the code, that we call it as check-in. If we are storing the code into the repository, we call it as check-in. A check-in is, in technical statement, we can call it as the process of uploading the files from the local machine to the central repository. And we are having checkout. Okay. It's the process of downloading the files from central repository to local machine. And one more terminology we used, build. What is build? It's the process of converting the source code to an executable code. All the developers designed the code, the total code will integrate, and they will release, they will change, they will convert that code into an executable format. That's an build. So the next one is an testing phase. It's a testing phase. Now it's our phase, right? Okay. In the sense, so here the total things, the roles involved, first we need to discuss who will going to involve in this. Okay. Involved. So here BA and PM, BA, PM, and test engineers. The developers. So here, once the project is signed off, the BA will prepare the SRS. Already we discussed. Once the SRS document baseline, he will send to the development team. That same document he will send to the development team. And as well as the SRS will send to the testing team also at the same time, at the developers, to the developers and the testing team. Both people need to understand the requirements. Test engineers will review the SRS instead of developers doing their work. And from another side, the testing team is also started their work. Test engineers will review the SRS document while reviewing. So the test engineers, while reviewing, is there any unclear requirements, and the requirements are not able to understand, they will identify those requirements, those unclear requirements, and they will update, or they will document the uncleared requirements, where they will document in a particular template. There is we call it as a review report. The testing team will update that uncleared requirements in a review report. The review report will be sent to the lead, where the lead consolidates all the review reports. The lead will consolidate all the review reports and update all the review reports in one document. So not only one testing guy will update this requirement is not clear. There is a team, each and every person will send their unclear requirements in based on one review report template. All the review reports will take the team lead. Test team lead will gather all the requirements. He will consolidate. These are the requirements are clear from our end, and he will maintain one document. The person will send to the unclear requirement based on the review report document. The document will send to the BA. BA will review all the unclear requirements and he will provide classifications to all the unclear requirements. That is a responsibility of the BA. Once he will update that unclear requirement and the updated the total, he will update the total doubts, total uncleared requirements in the particular document. The updated review report will send to the test engineers again. He will send to the lead will send to the test engineers. All test engineers will review the SRS documents with the clarifications what they will receive in the review report from the BA, from the lead. So all the test engineers will review again SRS document, and with the help of uncleared review report, updated unclear review report from the BA, they will again go through with all the requirements once again. Once the test engineer is clear all the requirements, they will take the test case they will start the implementation of the test cases. Where they will going to implement, there is one test case template at a company. So every company maintain test case template, and they will prepare the test cases for all the requirements. They will prepare total requirement, total test cases, and in all possible ways based on the requirement. So that test case document will be sent to the BA. Initial the test case document will be sent to the BA, and he will review if is there any test cases are missing. Then the BA will provide some comments. So see, so and so team, testing team, so and so person is not provided test case for the so and so requirement. He will provide the comment. Who will provide the comment? BA, business analyst will provide the comment. Based on the BA comments, the test engineers will update the test cases again, particular requirements. If is there any missing, then only this thing will happen. And the updated test case document will send to the client. Who will send? The BA will send. Directly we will not communicate. We will send to the team lead. Team will take care whether that particular test cases need to show to the business analyst, or if everything is okay, the lead or a QA manager will going to submit the details. It depends on priority and how client is eager to waiting for the test cases. It depends on the situation. The people will send the document to the client. The client to again take a review. So the client will take a review and he will provide some clarifications. He will provide some clarifications. Once the everything is okay and the development team has developed again, everything is ready. So we took the build and we are doing all these things. Once the build is released to the testing team, the test engineers will execute all the test cases on the builder. While execution, if bugs are identified, so the development team has done their job and released one build. We took the test engineers will took the build and they started testing. So while executing, so the people will going to executing the build. Is there any defects or bugs are identified? They will report bugs to the developers again. So the developers will fix the bugs and they will send it back to the again testing team. Test engineers will check whether the bug is really fixed or not. And also they will take a look, is there any new bugs? If bug is identified, then again report it to the developers. Developers will check whether it is bug or some other error or some other mistake by the test engineer. If it is really bug, they will going for the fix. Once he will fix, again it will send it to the test engineer. This process will be continuing until the build is stable, bug free. The process will going to continue. The stable build will be delivered to the client finally. That is so the main important of the testing phase is to enhancing the quality of the product. Okay, so there's a thing here. Actually, in the testing phase, second. See here. In testing phase, we are having like this project. See, once project is sign off, SRS document prepared, and it will commonly shared to the dev team and testing team. Testing team is go for the any uncleared requirements. In requirement review document, it will submit to the lead. Lead will going to consolidate and submit to the business analyst. Business analyst will provide clarifications and updated requirement review document to the testing team. Testing team will check if everything is okay. The testing team will prepare the test cases, where they will prepare under test case template. This test case template finally will submit to the BA. This is I represented in a diagrammatical way what we discussed in the testing phase. Okay. Next, the next one, it's an total done requirement phase, analysis, design, coding, testing, and delivery maintenance phase. This is the last phase in the software development life cycle. It's a sixth phase. Yeah. What's a delivery? Once the build is stable in the test environment, once the build is stable in the test environment, the test lead will send an email to the project manager to informing that build is stable. Once the build is stable, the project manager will deliver the build to the client. Client will deploy the build. Where he will going to deploy? Directly in live environment. Live in the sense in production? No. Before going to release the build, he will deploy the build in the stage environment. It's a client's environment actually. Stage environment is the common test environment. It's a common test environment for both client and the testing team. The test engineer is also testing, as well as client will going to perform the testing from their end. Client team is also separate. The client team will perform one set of testing, and the company who developed and tested, that people also tested in the will going to test in the stage environment. The client will test it on stage. Sometimes we call it as a pre-production environment. Once it is stable, the client will deploy the build in live. Live in the sense it's a production environment. It's a production environment. Once the build is deployed in live environment, then the company will conclude that the build is successfully delivered to the client. this in final phase. In final also, this is up to deployed in the live and up and running successfully. Then the company will conclude we delivered one build to the client. Once the build is delivered, that build will go for the maintenance. That's the last deliver and maintenance is a bundled in one category and in one phase. Once the build is delivered to the client, immediately the maintenance of the project will be started. Okay, right. What is maintenance? So I will give already, so by draw one diagram instead of wasting time to draw all the things. I will paste it here. Right. See here, what we discuss, we will see in a diagrammatical way. Dev environment, build. Once developed the build, they will deliver to the delivery team. So build is ready, delivery team and releasing. Delivery team will going to release some DevOps kind of team is there in the company. They will release. Otherwise, the dev team will going to bundle all the components, all developed parts, and they will release into the test environment. In test environment, testing team will test the build. Once it is okay, then that will give to the client, and the client will deploy in the stage environment or pre-production environment. Once it is okay, then he will go for the live or production environment. So here it's an deliver phase. And how about the maintenance? We will take a few sentences regarding that. Once the project build is delivered to the client, the maintenance will going to start. What we discussed just a couple of minutes back. Right. During the maintenance, the company is responsible for two activities. So what are two activities under maintenance? The first one is if any bug identified by the client, the company is responsible to fix it. That's the first point. Second one, if any change requirement, we call it a CR. Requirement already given. The client might be expect this is not my requirement. I want to some extra in the requirement. Please add that feature, or we call it as enhancements. So if any enhancements are needed to update in the build or application, the company is responsible to update the requirement, the change requirement. That is not direct requirement, that's a change requirement. The people called CR. The maintenance of the project will be continuing as long as the application is on live. That is must and should. Without maintenance, application will not run smooth. Application will not run smoothly. Okay. Initially, company will give the free maintenance up to certain time, certain period. It depends on the sign off, how the people took the sign off. Whenever the client is sending any mails with bugs or CRs, the company is responsible to send the acknowledgement again. So directly the client will send. If company is not responding, that is not a good rapport or good bridge path between the client and company. So company must respond within a turnaround time. Turnaround time in the sense 12 to 24 hours. There is a time to respond to the client in a proper suggestions or inputs, proper reply, proper way of communication. So this is happening in the maintenance phase. So these total 6 phases available in the software development lifecycle: requirement phase, analysis phase, designing, coding, testing phase, and delivery maintenance phase. Okay. That's all, guys. Thank you. We'll discuss next topic in the coming lecture. Okay. testing methodology. Thank you, guys.